Hey guys, welcome to the Cycle Frontier. It's officially out, and this is the new player guide that you need. Drop a like, drop a sub, and let's get into the content. So starting off from the launch terminal, this is where you launch and deploy into Fortuna 3. We'll talk about that a little later. You can also press tab, and on the bottom right, you can deploy straight from here. It's very handy if you're far from a launch terminal. If we go right here behind this to the quick shop, this is where you're gonna wanna go for your early game supplies. Here you can buy small backpacks, all the common weapons, ammo, armor, consumables, tools, attachments. Attachments are the stuff you're really gonna want. 2x optic, kind of a godsend, my favorite optic in the game. Here you can buy a mineral scanner, which you can use to scan for ores such as veltacite, stuff like that. You have consumables. These aren't the best consumables, but they're usable. Here you can buy white armor, the normal shield, or the tactical shield. The tactical shield has less durability and less armor, but you can run for a little longer. I think it's very, very good. Here you have different types of ammo to buy, some weapons you can buy, and again, backpacks. So starting off from the quick shop, this is the area you're going to want to go to basically in the early game. If you make a left from the quick shop, go all the way up here to the crafting area, or as they call it, the gear. Here is where you're going to have access to the higher tier stuff. Here you can craft a medium backpack, a large backpack, a heavy duty backpack, all these different backpack types. Again, they all get better, but you do need supplies to craft each individual backpack. You can also get some really good weapons here, some much better consumables. The consumables are very cheap here. They're 300k marks, but that's because you need these items. I would recommend collecting these items as much as you can for these strong stims because they are very, very good. Again, if you can get combat stims, that's even better. These items are pretty easy to get a hold of. I'll show you that in a different video, how to get a hold of all of these items. You can get better armor here, including green armor all the way up to yellow armor. Is where you're going to really want to go in that earlier game once you're a little bit more secure and have access to all these items to craft the green backpacks, the green armors, stuff like that. Also, once you finish your raid, if you do get shot at, you get hit by monsters, stuff like that, you're going to want to repair your armor. Here, if you get your armor from 700 durability to 600, it's going to cost a little bit of K marks to repair it. If your armor does go down to 0, it doesn't diminish, it does not go away. All you have to do is repair it. It's worth it. Repair your armor, get it nice and healthy, because you never know what a raid's going to bring you. So now from the gear printer, we're going to go all the way over here and go to the ICA faction. This is the first faction you're really going to go to, and here you can go to this woman right here, and you have the campaign missions, which is what you're going to want to finish first, and then you have access to jobs. Jobs are things that give you a little bit more money. They go from easy, medium to hard tier. Again, easy goes from 2,300 to 8,000 to 19,000 K marks, which is really, really good. And again, this is where you get your missions, where you can hand in missions, where you can receive missions, all that type of stuff. And over here to the right is the ICA market. ICA is a different type of faction, as they are the only faction with a data drive. So you're going to need these data drives for missions. Then you're going to have to bring them to an uplink station, which we'll talk about in a different video. Here they have different weapons too. ICA is very good because the Bulldog is a super good early game shotgun, and you have access to it at level 2. These are some of the best guns in the game, and you really should rank up ICA as one of the first factions. Again, it's ranked 2 in my factions tier list, but we'll get onto that in a different area. You can also sell your items to the faction. So again, if I wanted to sell my Bulldog, I put it in here, and I would get 19 credits, as they call for this faction, and 1900 K marks. I'm not going to sell it, but that's what you could do. So that's basically ICA. They have pretty good weapons. Now we're going to make a left, go over here to Osiris, my favorite faction, just because if you complete all of the campaign missions in Osiris, you get access to the first ever dungeon, and the dungeon is sick. We haven't seen any footage of it yet, but it's supposed to be crazy hard and super, super good. And again, you have campaign missions to finish right here on this page. Then you have access to jobs, which range from 1,500 to 13,000. Again, the prices and the missions change every so hours. Like right here, it says refresh in an hour 15. So expect new missions in that time slot. And now if we go to the left of him, we have the Osiris Market. Osiris Market is the #1 weapon shop, in my opinion. They have a really good starting burst pistol, which is called the Scarab. It's very good. Here we have the Manticore as well, which was easily my most used weapon in the beta because it's really cheap and it's really freaking good. So I would definitely give it a shot. They also have the Flechette, the Gorgon, the Basilisk. These are all high tier weapons. They also sell consumables here. They sell strong medkits, strong stims. Again, right here, as you saw before, the stim was 300 credits with a little bit of crafting materials. Here, they're 3,000 credits for 5 strong stims, but the caveat is you don't need any items. You can just buy them straight up. I would not buy these. They're way too expensive. I would just go get the items, craft them for 300k marks and a little bit of items. Then you obviously have access to tools and attachments as well, and you can also sell items here for the same price. No difference, just different faction. And now, once we leave the Osiris faction, we're gonna make a left right over here. We're gonna go up these steps, and we're gonna jump right over to our residence. So this is basically our quarters. So your quarters is basically your home, and there's some certain things you're gonna want to upgrade here. To get better upgrades in general, you're gonna want to upgrade right here. So our upgrade station is level 1 right now, but if we hand in these supplies right here, we could upgrade it, but we need 11 upgrades first in total. Some of the things you're gonna want to upgrade are these things right here, the K-Mark generator and the Aurum generator. Aurum generator is pretty hard to get, and you use Aurum for insurance, so you're gonna really want a lot of Aurum, as much as you can get, because it's very, very important. Here you have supply crates, which can basically give you loot every so hours. I believe it's every 24 hours. Now if we go to the inventory tab right up here, this is the most important thing you need to upgrade in the early game. This is the stash size. The stash size is basically when you press I, this is the stash size. As you see, it's 32 out of 85. 85 is not that much. You want to upgrade that as much as possible because you're going to get a lot of loot, and sometimes you're going to want to hoard. In the beta, I used to keep 2 stacks of everything just in case something went horribly wrong. So that's basically the thing you're going to want to upgrade. And again, you can upgrade your safe pockets as well. This is the area of your inventory. When you put something in your safe pockets when you're in a raid, if you die, you don't lose those items. The only problem is you can't put much weight in there. Right now, I believe it starts at 7 pounds, and I believe it upgrades all the way up to 20 pounds. So you're going to want to upgrade that slowly and steadily. Then we have the workbench. This basically reduces the time of your upgrades. So maybe you make a green backpack, takes 5 minutes. Maybe it'll go down 3%, go to 4 minutes and 45 seconds, something like that. So these are all good upgrades. I would upgrade the stash size immediately though. That would be my go-to. Now if we go right behind it, we have the generators. This is where you actually get your stuff. So if you craft the Aurum generator and the K-Marks generator, this is where they generate. You press the collect button, and you get them. Every 24 hours, you do get supply crates, as I just said. I've already collected mine, and I've got a good amount of looties. And then if you die with insurance, which we'll talk about a little later, you can click collect right here and you will get your insurance packages. Depends on what they are. We'll talk about that in the later part of the video. And you can also get Twitch drops if you do get them by watching streams. Now if we do exit the station and make a hard left, we can go right over here to Korolev. This is the last faction that we really talk about. This is the so-called mining faction. Again, they have the campaign missions here you're going to want to complete, and they have jobs. They range from 1,700 to 21,000 K-Marks, which is very, very good. And again, they're hard quests. They're not easy, but they're fun to do. Korolev also has one of my favorite items in the game. If you go over to tools, you have a heavy mining tool. This mines so quickly and efficiently. Sure, it's loud as hell, but it's super fun to use. It's kind of like a jackhammer and just go da, 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 da. It's very fun, very, very fun to use. But they sell utilities, backpacks, weapons, armor, ammo, stuff like that. They do have a special attachment here that you can attach to your scanning module. Basically scans for different type of ores. So Veltesite ore is a pretty good one that you find near waterfalls. We'll talk about that in a different video. The weapons in this faction are very good. The Scrapper is a super good early game SMG. All these weapons are very, very viable, but again, they get better and better as they go. The more expensive they get. This one's 210,000. Holy G, it's expensive. But you can also sell items here for the same amount. We'll stick that there. 19 and 1918, same exact prices. So basically now we're going to prepare for our first ever raid. So let's get into that. If you have no loot at all, you do get a starting package with a lot of loot right here, but we're going to pretend like we just died. We just lost everything. We're out of hopes. We have nothing. We're going to go straight to the quick shop and we're going to buy a backpack immediately. I usually buy like 3 at a time. I'm not going to buy them now because I still have them on me. So we'd buy a small backpack to get ready for the raid. We'd buy 2 of our favorite weapons. I usually go with the bolt action and the AR, which is a really good combo for me. Then we buy ammo for the weapons. Buy enough ammo because you do go through a lot. Sometimes I'll bring as much as 800 to 1,000 rounds per raid, which is a lot, but sometimes you need it. Then we can buy our armor here. Again, the normal shield and helmet have more durability and more protection, so I would say. And the tactical has a little bit less of both, but you do keep a lot more of your stamina stamina for a longer duration, which I think is very important. Here you can buy consumables as well. These stims are not the best. I would recommend getting the items for the better stims, but in the early game, you're going to need these. But those green stims will save your life. Grenades are also super, super good. I've died by countless grenades. I can't even tell you how annoyed I get by them. I get so annoyed. Smoke grenades are also super good for evacing. So basically, if you're on an evac ship, you throw a smoke grenade in there. No one can see anything, and hopefully you don't get camped when you're evacing. And now if we go to tools, again, you can buy a middle scanner and you can buy attachments here. So let's get ready for our raid. We'd press I, get all of our stuff ready. We'll put a backpack in that slot. We'll put our armor slot on, our helmet on, and now we get our weapons. Let's go with a manticore and a scrapper. And now we need ammo for the manticore. As you can see, this symbol here is the medium ammo symbol, so we'll get some medium ammo. This is a light ammo symbol, so we'll get some light ammo. And if we want to put something in our safe pockets, imagine I want to take a piece of this. It doesn't do anything, but I'll stick it in there. So that if I die, I will not lose this. It will come back with me. And I need some meds, so let's bring our syringes. Let's bring our grenades. And now we're ready for the raid. So if we wanted to take off, we could press tab in the bottom right, select it. So that's what we're going to do. And these are the two maps. I'll put the loot maps on the screen right now. Bright Sands is a really good beginner map, but it doesn't have any tier 5 loot. Tier 5 loot is going to be all found at Crescent Falls. But I would say in the beginning to mid game, Bright Sands is your go-to spot. I would only start going Crescent Falls once your missions start making you go to Crescent Falls, because the items you need are only available at Crescent Falls. This is your higher tier loot that you're really going to need a lot of. So that's what we do. So now we're going to go to Bright Sands and we click on it, and now we get to this page. This is the insurance page. So basically, gear salvage and standard insurance are two very different things. So gear salvage, imagine if I want to keep my manticore and I don't want to lose it if I die, I stick it in here, and right down here we get 10 Aurum, a price of 10 Aurum. So basically, if I die, this item will come back to my quarters where I showed you before, and it will be collected there in 24 hours. So in 24 hours, I can click the collect button, and this gun will be handed straight back to me with all of the attachments. Everything that was on it is back on it, and I'd get it right back. But imagine I'm out of Aurum, I have 0. What do? We stick everything in the standard insurance, because every time you go in a raid, you should have everything on standard insurance just so you don't zero out. Basically, what standard insurance does is you pay a small fee of 3,300, and if you die, you don't get anything back, but you get 8,400 credits back. So that's basically a 5 grand profit just by dying. Again, it's not really a profit. You do lose a good amount of margin. It's a good way to just not zero out, not bomb out, so you get a little bit of money back so you can go into your next raid with a little bit of loot. And now you press continue with, and this would be what you're taking with you. Make sure you have everything you want. Then you can press deploy. I'm not going to deploy, but this is what the deployment page looks like. I will make an in-game guide soon, but if you want to see me record this video, stuff like that, hop over to my Twitch, link down below. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it helped you out, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuce.